there are, I guess, various ways to look at job quality, but a way that we often look to ground it in is the ILO's decent work indicators, which set out a series of indicators for what makes up decent work. And part of that includes job quality. And so some of the elements that include job quality or that make up job quality are as you might expect, adequate earnings and productive employment, which I think a lot of projects grapple with. I mean, if you think about small scale agriculture, for example, they're just not earning enough. Most are not earning enough relative to the work they put in. Decent work hours is another one. So whether you're working too much or you're working too little. I mean, if you look at youth employment in Africa, it's really, unemployment is not so high. It's really the underemployment, which is the big issue there. So people just aren't working enough. And there's the ability to combine work, family, and personal life, which is really thinking about care, maternity leave. And there's work that should not be, we should not engage in or should be abolished, which we're talking about child labor or forced labor. And that's quite obvious, I think, but you often do see that in some contexts with children helping out the family or taking seasons off from school to work in harvest. And stability and security at work, so having a regular contract. If you're a construction worker that's being hired for a day or two, you may not know where your pay is coming from beyond those 2 days or so. And equal opportunity and treatment in employment is another element, and that's really about gender pay gap, sort of the parity of gender in certain positions. And the last one I want to touch on is safe work environment. So being exposed to hazards. I mean, you can, as you might expect, mining or construction are very, I would say, risky in terms of occupational safety and health. But I mean, farming can be, if you're using chemical sprays, or if you're working in a factory with poor ventilation there, it's not a very safe work environment. So all that to say that there are a lot of pieces that make up job quality. Jobs are a critical pathway out of poverty for most people, you know? And research shows that if you have a low quality job, this is precisely what keeps people in poverty. So, I mean, if you don't make enough money, you stay in poverty. If you don't work enough hours, you stay in poverty. If you get hurt in a job and you're incapacitated, you can't work, you stay in poverty. If your child goes to work or is working and doesn't go to school, that child is not going to advance from an educational attainment perspective, and will stay in poverty, likely. I mean, this is all likely, of course, but not to paint a real downer of a picture here, but I mean, it is something we should care about and think about, and we really need to focus on some of these issues to, again, put these people on the pathway to better quality jobs.